The Elder Scrolls speak of the past and the future. Now, Skyrim looks to the future, to its ultimate version.
Alexa, play Skyrim.
You're level 57 and see a tall snowy mountain.
Climb it.
Now, Skyrim and life become one.
A mud crab scuttles towards
First
you.
Roda!
I didn't catch that.
First Roda!
I didn't quite catch that.
First Roda!
Your shout echoes all the way to Sovngarde.
What happened?
First Roda. That's the command for knocking things over.
Is there a command for picking shit up?
Haven't reached that level yet.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
Ooh.
The dragon unleashes fire breath on you.
Okay.
You have 7% health left.
Oh, shit. I drink a health potion.
You are out of health potions.
How many wheels of cheese do I have left?
473.
Okay, I eat all the cheese. I eat all of the cheese. All of it.
Hey, hun. Remember what the doctor said about dairy?
Yes. Right, yes, of course. You're the greatest. Thank you so much. I ate all of the cheese.
Introducing Skyrim, very special edition. Also coming soon to Etch-a-Sketch, Motorola Pagers,
Oh, shit.
and your Samsung Smart Refrigerator.
Isla Noose. Oh, that's cool.
I'm gonna eat all the cheese. All of it.
Wagon wheel size cheese wheels.
Yes.
Was it like 491 wheels of cheese?
Several hundred, an obscene amount.
All the fondue, guys.
Is it all the same cheese, or is it a variety of cheeses?
Hopefully a variety at least.
Or maybe it starts as one, and by the time you're done, it's blue cheese.
That could very well be, actually.
Either way,
How
that much
crumbly.
cheese might not agree with the stomach.
Best part is, it's real. The cheese part, yes, but also the game itself is actually real. Not the fridge one. That would be.
Wait, I thought it was a joke.
It's not.
Wait, legit?
It's a Todd thing, Bethesda. It's awesome. But yes, it is a real thing for Alexa. So it's like playing Pathfinder or D&D with Alexa. So that'd be a new experience for Skyrim.
That's cool.
As someone who's never played D&D, but I love listening to podcasts about it, I imagine I could get it and just like scream at Alexa by myself while fighting a dwarf, mage, wizard, or something. So it might be fun to have the government listen to me play my D&D. So it's cool. I don't care. They can know that I have a bag of binding or whatever.
I'm curious what the lockpicking in a Alexa.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, that's
What if it
they
just
cut it
teaches
out.
you how to really break into people's houses? They like get it confused and lawsuits or more money for me. Either way.
I mean, would that work?
Let's find out.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah,
all right, so
we'll have to find out.
we'll get back to you on the legalities of it all.
Yes. And climbing mountains.
So after that Skyrim mini intro, welcome to the DVSI E3 After Conference. I am Andrea, Jedi Roxy.
Paul Gensch, how you doing?
Jennifer, Pro Mummy Gamer. That is who we are.
Wow!
We're professionals at this if you haven't noticed by now, so...
Totally. Legit.
So...
First we're gonna kick off with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I am a big nerd of all sorts. Gaming, comic books, you pick it. Spider-Man looks amazing. I played a bunch of different ones over the years. I think my favorite was Ultimate Spider-Man. That was the first one that kind of opened it up, open world-ish, and I don't know, it was a lot of whole fun to play. And the new one looks like they're taking a lot of the elements from that and mixing it with the Arkham Batman series, with especially with like the fighting styles and how intricate everything is. And I don't know, it's very immersive. It pulls you into the game, and from like all the trailers I've seen, all the footage I've seen, I'm stoked about it. It seems like it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it really looks honestly pretty seamless from what I've seen, from going just from like the normal gameplay to these sort of pseudo cutscenes, kind of fight scenes, and it looks very seamless and like it flows very well.
It's almost like the old school God of War like kill scenes where you hit the button combination, then it goes and it's just a little cinematic of him dismembering
Right.
whatever. But it's Spider-Man, so sadly no dismemberment.
No.
But he ties them up or throws people around or stuff. But visually looks amazing. Story-wise, I don't know a whole lot of the story so far, but I'm excited about it either way. I think that they're also adding a bunch of different costumes and stuff, which has always been something I love in any video game I play. I love being able to change the costumes, whether or not it's what's customizable or not, but at least change it up a little bit.
Personality, yeah.
And like they always throw in like the Easter egg ones or the fun ones. Like my son, he's 6 and he loves all the Spider-Man games. We've got Shattered Dimensions, Web of Shadows, and in Shattered Dimensions there's 4 different Spider-Mans you can be, and I think the coolest one was the noir Spider-Man. He's like, I don't know, he looks like a 1940s gangster style of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting, and just like being able to play each one differently was fun. But with the new Spider-Man, I'm excited to see all the different things in it. Like, it just looks awesome. Like you said, just visually it looks amazing from start to finish. It's seamless from cinematic to gameplay. And I'm excited about the gameplay because the Arkham series are some of my favorite games because I'm a huge Batman fan. And to take a lot of the Batman elements and feed that into the Spider-Man story and gameplay, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I gotta say, the villain looks really cool too, actually. Mr. Negative?
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know a lot about him. It's been a long time since I've delved into the Spider-Man universe, but I gotta look up on him and read more about him. Seems awesome though.
I'll admit, first time I'm like, Mr. Negative. That sounds kind of.
That just sounds like me on a regular day.
Yeah,
like, if I don't
what,
have
Debbie
coffee,
Downer?
I'm Mr. Negative. So.
Yeah, and then I saw some gameplay of it. I'm like, all right, that's really cool.
yeah, I'm definitely excited about it.
Like that's the only gameplay I saw the trailers for it, and I actually went to E3 Live, and I didn't get to play the game, like demo before it's actually released, but I was able to walk by the demos that were available to be played. I looked over some shoulders, and it did look fantastic in person. I'm excited for it. The last Spider-Man game I played was on the original Xbox, and that's a lie.
That is a while ago.
I did play Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PS4, and I wasn't impressed with it. But the one on original Xbox was more, like with the open world aspect to it, I was more impressed with that than the PS4 version of it. So I'm excited for this new one on PS4. This new improved, better version of it.
It really does honestly look very good from what we've seen though. So, good. Pretty high hopes, honestly.
And a PS4 console.
Yes, it is exclusive, owned by Sony and all, so get it on PS4. We'll see more about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Just like
I'm really hoping to see more of like the character building of Spider-Man, to see if they're gonna lean towards like the more classic Peter Parker from like the comics or the animated series that I grew up on, or if it's gonna lean more towards like the newer Spider-Man movies with like Garfield or the younger kid from the new Amazing Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah,
Tom Holland.
Yeah,
the young kid. Like I think all of them bring a lot to the movies, but I want to see how the games are going to kind of pick which Peter Parker or Spider-Man they're going to really go with.
So I like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 just because of Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen. But I did like Tom Holland as a better Spider-Man than Andrew Garfield. Sorry, but I like with Gwen Stacy, but I also like the Homecoming with Tom Holland. And then it is. I am very curious to see which one the game goes with, or if it's a whole new story.
I have a feeling they're just gonna like kind of combine whatever fits best for their story arc. I guess I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
What are you really excited for, though?
What I'm really excited for. This is the game at E3, at Xbox's E3 conference. I cried the entire presentation of it.
Yes, you did.
Forza Horizon 4.
That's about cars.
It is.
She
You
cried.
cried.
It's not like driving an old woman to the hospital who's dying in a car. It's just driving really nice cars really fast.
She's old.
Not just nice cars. You got the rallycross. I love the mixture, combination of all types racing.
She really does just absolutely love racing and cars, and specifically Forza. Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon.
I'm really strong at cruising USA.
Yes.
Where you hit the double pedal and you do the flip when you go over the hill. I'm good at that. Never been a big racing fan, but from watching you watch the Forza trailer and watching how hyper realistic it is, it's ridiculous. Like, it makes me want to play because I'll never be able to afford one of those cars.
Right.
So, you know, but then you were talking about Horizon is the more freestyle-esque version of it, which I think I would be more interested in, because the few car games that I really enjoyed were like the Need for Speed Underground, which the Forza regular one is the more like hyper-realistic, everything's spot on with how the car actually drives and stuff like that, which is awesome.
Still really cool.
But I just want to go have fun and drive through streets I'll never be able to do legally. So.
Right. Like, I played Forza Motorsport 2, Motorsport 4, but then my brother actually picked up Forza Horizon a few years back when it was on 360, and I'm like, oh, give it a try. I was in love. From then on, no more Need for Speed, no more anything else, but Forza Horizon 1, I rebought Forza Horizon 2 on both 360 and 1, just for the slightly different, well, many different effects in it, but I can go on, I could preach forever about this game.
See, I think that it's really cool that they're adding the element of seasons, though, to it.
Yes.
Like, so cool that you can actually go across the ice in the winter, or, you know, maybe it's not accessible throughout the winter, stuff like that.
Not only does, like, the scenery change, but it literally changes how the entire track is played. There's they said that there's literally, like, the tracks will change to where certain parts of the tracks are open during one part of the season and closed during other parts. So it's, I don't know, I had a few friends who've like always played Forza and stuff like that. I've enjoyed watching them play, but now I'm excited to actually play myself. So I'm excited to get it one of these days, and I don't know, like I said, drive cars I'll never be able to afford.
Get behind the virtual wheel, so to speak.
Yeah, you know, I've gotten plenty of speeding tickets in the past. I'd like to, you know, not get those anymore, so hopefully this will help.
Well, now you can race in Lamborghini Aventadors and McLarens and not get a ticket and actually own them.
I get tickets in a Dodge Journey, so that's, you know, an SU van, so.
Yeah, I'm excited for the seasons changing, all 4 seasons, because in Horizon 3, like, one of the DLCs, Blizzard Mountain, that's like only snow and blizzards, and it's like, well, Horizon 4 will have all 4 seasons that you don't really have to pay extra for, but I mean, I didn't mind buying it because it came with Hot Wheels too.
Are they one of the companies?
Hot Wheels is really fun.
Are they one of the companies that like might throw in like seasonal Easter eggs kind of thing? Like a lot of companies do, like Warcraft and stuff like that, where with each season they kind of have their own little theme or special thing.
I can see with the Forza Horizon 3 Season Pass, like I said, they released Hot Wheels, which was very interesting because you can go shopping or even look at classic Hot Wheels cars in your box and like, oh hey, that car that I had as a kid is in this Horizon 3 game. Like, what?
I just think it would be interesting because they're really like this season is one of the biggest things. I think it would be cool to like actually drive through, you know, a Christmas town or something like that. You know?
Oh, that'd be neat.
I can see them doing that.
I can see that.
Let's see what happens.
I'm excited.
Yes, you are.
Fancy edition.
And what was the big announcement that they made?
Now, it's my distinct pleasure to announce that we have acquired Playground Games. This is one of the highest rated studios of this generation, celebrated for their incredible craftsmanship.
So Playground Games is secured and locked in with Microsoft. I'm happy to finally see that. I was sweating bullets for a little bit. I was concerned that because Playground Games is focusing on this new title, that Forza Horizon would be kind of pushed a little bit to the side, and it was a fear. That's part of why I cried during E3, but the other half is just it's a beautiful and amazing game I'm excited for.
Breathe. You can breathe. So I gotta tell you though, I know that you're super stoked for Horizon, to Forza Horizon. Horizon, there you go. Nice little summary of that there. I am super stoked for Prey in VR, and I know this is probably going to get overlooked by most people just because, like, it's not a new game. It came out in 2017, but for me, I personally really, really loved Prey, and then the opportunity to then play it in VR, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be freaking out because I'm a baby when it comes to anything even slightly scary, but...
So we're definitely going to film it.
Yes.
Yes, I'll probably be live streaming it.
Good.
I'm super excited for that. And until it comes out in VR later, they did tide us over with the Moon Crash content. Basically, it's you go from area to area. It's all randomized with the enemies and stuff, and you have to survive as long as you can. And it's pretty cool because the abilities and stuff that you get from each person you can carry over into your next file, so it's a little bit easier the next time you can advance further. It's really cool.
So for people who've never played Prey, you definitely recommend the original and the VR?
Definitely. Very good if you're interested in a sort of sci-fi, I don't want to say horror, maybe more action suspense thriller kind of game. Gist of it is that you're in a space station, things go wrong horribly, because of course things always go wrong when you're in a space station.
It's not fun if there's no calamity.
Exactly. Basically, there's lots of little things that come after you, and they can morph into different creatures. Not different creatures, different objects.
I was going to say in-laws at first. But.
I've seen gameplay of Prey. I've watched people play it before. I just haven't played it myself. But it's not like Dead Space where it's like terrifying. But
it's not that level of terrifying. It's just more like it makes you jumpy and paranoid at everything, and it's super fun though. And your decisions do matter in the game as well. So.
I honestly, when I was watching gameplay of it, I found it fun to try and see. Like I'd see the monsters run away, like scamper away, and then I would go into a room and look. Well, I would watch them go into a room, and I would look over their shoulder and it's like, all right, which one of y'all is the fake object and which is the real chair?
I was gonna say, well, there's one desk and 2 chairs. It's one of you two.
One of these is not entirely like the other.
So, other than that, another game that I'm really looking forward to having more content added to it is Cuphead, actually. Super cutesy, wonderful animation from the 1930s classic era, and it's way harder than it might look. If you haven't already heard the rage from Cuphead players, take the wax out of your ears, because it's really pretty difficult, but it's not unfair. It's just difficult. Very fun though.
Now, I've never played it. I've seen it played. I've watched gameplay of it. Like earlier I said, I'm a huge nerd. I'm an animation nerd. Tom and Jerry are one of my all-time favorite cartoons, and the fact that there is a full-on video game based off of that art style or from that era, and it's all hand-drawn. As I went to animation school, I'm an artist. I can't imagine putting that much time and effort into a project, but they did it, and it came out what looks amazingly, furiously, invigoratingly, angering in the most amazing way possible. Like
that sums it up.
Like my son and I sit there and watch people play it, and their reactions are hilarious. And I want to get the game, but then I think I'm going to have to buy a new system and a new TV because I'm going to put my fist through it. Through this little adorable thing.
Like I've played it, and I have the same reaction while playing it. Like I get up and I rage quit and I walk away. I'm like, no, it's easy. I got this. I got it this time. No, I don't got it. No.
You got this. You got this.
From the reactions I've seen for it, it's like watching somebody play like God of War on the final boss, or the Valkyrie Queen, or something along the lines of that. Like, it's this unbeatable creature, but it's this cute little adorable thing on a little cute map.
Killer thing.
Dimple in the cheek.
Pretty much every level takes like 2 minutes too. So the span of like 2 minutes to complete a level, that's all it takes. But it's so hard to get through it sometimes. Gosh dang it.
I just love that it doesn't punish you like some games, Dark Souls.
That is true. You get infinite lives. You can just retry it over and over and over, and you will be retrying it over and over and over.
Speaking of Dark Souls, like it's a game breaker for me, a rule breaker. You gotta have pause. Does it have pause?
Yes.
Then I might buy it. That's the thing.
Okay.
If you have children, you have to have a pause button because you have a life and things might be on fire, including your child.
Very true. It's so true.
Dark Souls
I do
doesn't
not
care.
speak from experience,
Dark Souls
I promise.
wants your children to burn.
And the greatest part is that you can get in on it fresh, and they are going to be adding the new content to it as well.
Cuphead or children burning?
Cuphead.
Okay.
To clarify, Cuphead.
Okay.
You're going to be able to play as a new character, well, sort of new playable character, the legendary Chalice, as Miss Chalice, and she is adorable.
I believe someone we know has got plushies of them.
Yes, they do. Thank you to the person who got that for me. But not only do you get to play it as a new character as well, but there's actually going to be new content added. There's going to be a whole new island. Islands are basically the worlds of this game that you go through that have various levels in them. So there's going to be a whole bunch of new content, and I'm super excited for it.
And speaking of cute things...
Get to wear a little Eevee on your head if you get to play Let's Go Eevee. Or Let's Go Pikachu if you like Pikachu.
Eevee.
I'm personally Eevee all the way, but...
Although something that deterred me was that you don't fight wild Pokemon. Although all the thousands of Zubats in caves, I'm okay with doing those. Like,
yeah, they can go away, please. Just don't bother me.
the combat is a little bit turned me off for the game.
Well, as far as I can see, the combat for that is really specifically based off of Pokemon Go for your mobile phones, which of course, if you haven't played it, it basically boils down to you tossing a Pokeball at the Pokemon while a ring sort of hones in on it towards the center. As the circle gets smaller, if you land the ball in the middle, you have a slightly higher chance of actually catching the
Futuristic
Pokemon.
horseshoes with invisible imaginary animals.
Yes, that is actually
Nailed!
spot on.
That is.
As somebody who's
Oddly.
never enjoyed playing any Pokemon game from existence, any,
My pearls.
I'm probably gonna get death threats for this, like just Pokeball
Yeah, I
mail
can
bombs.
just see the comments in the bottom down.
My Pikachu's gonna kick your ass. I see the appeal in walking around your neighborhood throwing imaginary things at imaginary. No, okay, I don't see the appeal. I don't know. But
So
for
you're
all
saying you have
those
to be
who
crazy
do,
to like it, basically? Because that's what it sounds like.
I'm
You're
not
crazy.
fucking normal. I think I'm crazy and I still don't like it. But for those who want to, by all means, go have fun. Just realize that parts of the thing on the screen aren't there, and the things that are there, like the kids that walk off cliffs because they're looking at their screen trying to catch a Pokemon.
Yeah, that was.
Maybe that's all tactical and the government trying to, work down the population control.
I'd say on that,
It's
blame
working.
I'd say blame the player, not the game on that one. I'm just gonna throw
No,
that
that's
out
why it was a
there.
warning to the
Okay,
players.
okay.
'Cause
Well, the Switch version will reduce that because you'll be at home. Or Switch is
it's
mobile.
portable.
So,
So
yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
Well.
So groups
But it's not
could-
interactive with real life though. In this new one for the Switch, for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, it's not GPS based. So it's not like you have to walk around. I mean, you're perfectly able to. You want to take a stroll down at your local park or whatever, and then just keep walking around and throwing your Pokeballs. Go right ahead, but you don't have to. Unlike Pokemon Go, you kind of have to. Yeah, which is cool because it does get people walking and outside and socializing in the sunlight. Oh no! But
Sunlight's only good when it's rendered. We
I know.
that.
Oh no, it's unrendered. Yeah. But the cool thing is though is that even though that's how it seems to be that you catch wild Pokemon, it looks like you actually do still have a fully fleshed out, or at least mostly normal battle system against other trainers and other NPCs. So
That's the saving grace. If
Yeah.
it was the same for both wild battles,
that'd be a little shallow on the content level, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is just an observation from a outside Pokemon perspective.
Okay.
Is anybody else convinced that Brock can be blindfolded with dental floss? I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to
Probably
say
yes.
that they're stereotyping any culture,
Maybe like two.
but he is the ultimate
two
stereotype
strands.
of that culture in which that they are stereotyping.
Maybe like 2 strands of dental floss. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe
Okay,
2 strands.
fair enough.
The plus side to all of this is that he is back, and he's accurate to what he used to look like in the anime
That is
series.
true. So actually, probably most of everything else is probably too. It's
Misty,
basically,
maybe?
yeah, probably.
There's Joy.
Basically, Pokemon Yellow, but up to nowadays graphics and whatnot. Well, you
The
know, on
Pokemon
Switch.
Go graphics.
For Pokemon Cove
Yeah.
graphics specifically. Because remember, we are going to be getting a new main series Pokemon title in 2019, and I know that you don't care, but you at least do. And maybe you do too at home. But yeah, 2019 we're going to have a main series Pokemon title, so it's not going to be Pokemon Go throwing the Pokeballs.
Pokemon
I don't know,
Throw.
they might keep that mechanic for all we know, but
Pokemon Throw.
Pokemon Throw. Not Pokemon Go, it's Pokemon Throw.
That's not a bad idea. They're gonna watch this and be like, Pokemon.
Had an
I
idea.
know, we're gonna be like, dang it, we should have capitalized on this. Small monster throw. Yep, that's next
Doesn't
great
have the
game.
flow,
Yep.
but you know.
But in addition to a great game, which is our little guy here, Sea of Thieves is adding more content.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 new DLCs releasing in 2 different months this year. I believe it is July and September.
Mm-hmm.
First one coming up is going to be The Cursed Sails,
Not to be confused with the Cursed Shores.
which is the Forsaken Shores, not the cursed one, they're Forsaken.
Forsaken Sails,
I had the right
Cursed
words.
Shores,
Oh,
what?
Mixed. No, I haven't played Sea of Thieves at all. I've watched a ton of footage.
You should play with us, it's so fun.
It looks fun. It looks awesome.
You get to be a pirate!
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's so fun. Were you pirate or ninja back in the days?
Back in the days.
Samurai?
So basically
True.
ninja.
No.
No, there's
wrong.
a difference. There's a
Different.
difference.
Wrong.
Oh my gosh. I opened the floodgates, I'm
Cue
sorry.
Yes,
20-minute
you did.
lecture.
Japanese mempo. Ninjas don't wear those.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Especially on their shin and ink.
So you're saying that you were not on the pirate side?
No, pirates are cool as shit. I got nothing wrong with pirates.
But now you can be on the pirate side.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's
do it.
Pillage and look for booty.
All kinds.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the new added content, and of course since you haven't even played yet really at all,
I've seen the Megalodon.
okay,
That was awesome.
great. And
I
the
heard
Kraken.
I've heard of the Kraken. I haven't seen the Kraken.
Oh, it's
Kraken.
cool.
I'm excited to see it.
I haven't seen him since the update for the Kraken.
I haven't seen it since the update. I saw it before the update, which was kind of funny because if
There's a
you
little.
got to, there's a little bit missing from the Kraken. The body was just kind of not
That's
there.
Side note on
Tentacles.
Krakens. The Greek didn't invent them, the Norse did. Anyways.
No, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, they just did it for movie purposes.
But yeah, all the content honestly looks super cool, and
Watching the trailer for it live at E3, it was comical. Like seeing it there, and when the shopkeeper slammed the skull down. This was behind the scenes at E3. When the shopkeeper, this huge video of it, they had like amazing bass, and when she slammed that skull down on the
It's all about the bass.
yeah, when she slammed it down though, I jumped out of my seat about 20 feet, cause it.
no, I mean like I knew you were jumpy. She's super jumpy. If we're playing any
You can't
really
see her
anything.
legs, just muscle. She can jump 20 feet straight in the air. I don't know why she's not in the female NBA, whichever that's called.
WNBA. I compete with
Yeah.
SpiderMan.
That.
The other word for female.
The other one, woman. W, the woof sound.
Now, from what I've seen with Sea of Thieves, usually I love story. I have to have a game that has story. Now, from what I've heard, Sea of Thieves isn't really about the story, it's more of the experience, which to me, with how it looks like it's played, you're supposed to play it with friends. It's all about friendship and just having a good time. I think I could get into that kind of thing. I think that's, and the fact that how they're expanding on it constantly just kind of makes it more fun. It's almost like the Grand Theft Auto world, but in pirates and more fun and not
Okay, I
so
can see that.
seriously murdery rapey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a little less of that.
Well, different amounts.
Yeah,
Half dozen of one, 6 of the other.
Yeah.
But it's
You can tell
cute
that the
murder
developers still
rapey.
truly love this. They're constantly adding new content to it. They really are striving to make it better. It's already great, but they're always adding more.
And they listen to people too. Like with the Kraken update, the fans get listened to, and they add the stuff that we want. Like at first, people said, "Oh, it was not enough DLC at launch." Well, the Kraken was quickly added, and the Megalodon, and now we have 2 DLCs coming out this year.
Now they were just steamrolling it
Yeah.
out. Honestly.
Speaking about pirates, there's an addition to another game series that is bringing pirates into the fray.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is announced finally.
I know. It's official. We have a date and trailers and gameplay footage, and it's real. It's actually happening.
Frozen, Hercules, Pirates of the Caribbean, Tangled.
It
Now,
looks so good.
again, this is a game I never really played, but having a kid now, I think my son, I definitely want him to play the series because my favorite movie growing up was Jack Skellington, or Nightmare Before Christmas, and I know Jack Skellington's one of the characters throughout the game series, so that's something I think my son will love because that's now his favorite movie. And then the movies beat the dead horse with the Pirates of the Caribbean, so now the games are actually going to try and bring something new and fresh to it, and it looks awesome.
It looks super fun.
Yeah, I saw the footage, and instead of it looking like, or at least for their part, instead of it looking like a Kingdom Hearts game, it looked like a Pirates of the Caribbean game done really well with elements of Kingdom Hearts in it.
Right, it doesn't look like Disney Infinity graphics of Pirates of the Caribbean. It actually looks like the actors that played them in the movie. I was
just very slightly cartoonized.
Right,
like,
slightly, but you know.
Which is
and,
good.
and stylized though, like they look 90% real with 10% fantasy is the way I look at it.
And I like that because then they kind of they shy away from that uncanny valley as well, because again, if you really strive for that super duper realism, sometimes it can look just a little off, so I'm kind of glad they took a bit more stylized approach.
I also think it helps, at least from the footage I've seen, for them especially, because they're one of the only live action elements to the Kingdom Hearts world and Disney World.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They look, their style is completely different than everything else. Like because again, it's that live action element that they're trying to breathe into it, but still give it that separation. So to me, I think it's a really cool way to blend the two worlds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mustn't strike a pirate.
That was my one good point.
I mean, you had more good points.
No, I know. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, again, never played them, but they look really fun.
Just don't try and understand the story. Just don't even try.
It looks like there's characters from Final Fantasy peppered in there, and again, that's another series I've never played. And I'm
What
gonna.
have you played? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I can't do turn-based. I just
Okay,
can't.
fair enough. Some
And
of the
like-
more recent ones have gotten a bit more action-oriented, though.
That's what I've heard. I need to try the newer ones. Like I've watched people play the games, and I think the artwork's amazing, the story's awesome. It's all kinds of cool stuff, but the gameplay just isn't fluid enough for me. And I've had that issues with other games like Dragon Age. I think was one of the first ones that I really got into, which was really weird. Is like from console to PC, completely different gameplay. And that kind of threw things off, but I enjoyed both versions of them.
Okay.
But I've heard a lot of the newer Final Fantasies are really good, especially with like the gameplay's changed. And I've also seen all the animated movies, which are phenomenal, including Kingsglaive is the newest one, which I've heard has something to do with one of the new games.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't played any Final Fantasy. Like I don't like turn-based. The only turn-based I can handle is Pokemon. A turn-based is just like D&D and Pokemon are the only turn-based. Let me correct myself there. That's it. And it's like I'm like I can't. I just want to fight. I don't want to wait.
Well, I mean,
I'm
same
impatient.
thing. The newer ones are a bit more action-oriented, so maybe you could kind of get into that. I mean, also, I know that it wasn't shown at E3. I was actually kind of surprised it wasn't, but actually Final Fantasy VII for the remake that is going to be happening. Long story short, as far as I heard, they had to scrap a lot of their work because of something that they had to program in. But it is still coming out. They are still working hard on it, and they are going to be updating that battle system as well to the newer one. So if you want to play maybe that older Final Fantasy with the turn-based action system, but without that turn-based action system, keep an eye out for it.
There is
I'm
another
super
game.
excited.
There's another game coming back, Devil May Cry 5.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have not played Devil May Cry, any of them.
I've played
I haven't either.
most of them, I think. I've only played like the first three. The first one I absolutely fell in love with, and I think that was for PS2. The second one, again, love. The third one, it kind of seemed like the story was losing its heart, if that makes sense. It was a cool game to play, but it just you didn't feel connected to keep playing it for some reason. It might be something I need to pick up and try again and see if it pulls me back into it. But from watching the new game, for one, the graphics look insane.
That looks so nice.
It looks like they're basically doing the same Avatar style, where they film everything and then put a layer of skin over it to give it that sci-fi look.
That is about what it looks like.
And it just looks amazing. Nero's the main character in it, and he's got like an assistant mechanic badass chick who's there to help him
Dude,
out.
she looks cool. It's like, I know nothing about you, but I like you already.
She's like his southern fangirl commentator.
Okay.
Yeah, she I believe Nero, his name is Nero. He lost his arm, and she was actually the mechanic who rebuilt his arm, and so she's his mechanic like overall now. And
Yeah,
she's like the hype man.
Well, like there's a part in their trailer where he's like doing this epic fight, and she's standing on the sidelines talking to this guy. He's like, he's real badass. You should just watch him. He's really good. And it's just like this nonchalant, like nothing to worry about. He's got it handled. You and I can BS. You know.
Yeah.
It definitely, that's the lightheartedness that kind of accompanied that game from the beginning. It's always this really dark atmosphere and death and hell and demons. But it always had this like lighthearted atmosphere to it, and that a lot had to do with Dante, the original character, and now you're Nero, who I'm not 100% clear in his story because, like I said, I missed a game or two. But
fair enough. Might have to
he looks
go binge
awesome.
those.
I know in one of the trailers there's a little sneak peek of Dante on whether or not he's going to be a big role or just a little Easter egg they throw in there to bring people in. But it looks fun, and as far as I know, the original main developer of the game is back involved, and that's why the story is really coming back together.
Oh, cool.
So
That's awesome.
I'm excited for it. I really do need to do more research on it and go back and play all the games all over again.
Sounds like I need to play them for the first time, honestly.
They were fun. They were like almost like I think they were kind of like a precursor to God of War. Because God of War is the old God of War. It's like that same, button masher, but you still have to be strategic about it to an extent. But it's that fast-paced battle. And, there's certain enemies who have to be hit with certain combos or this, that, or the other. And then again, Devil May Cry was known for the epic boss fights. And that was another thing
Yeah, some of them looked really cool. Dude, there was a mouth in the dude's stomach. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, the monsters have always been awesome.
I don't know what's going on.
The monsters have always been awesome. Like, the lore that they just build into the characters, especially Dante was my favorite. He's the son of this ancient demon warrior named Sparta or something like that who just awesome. He's a half devil. You get to be a devil. I want to be a devil or half him. Whatever. It's cool.
Whatever it is.
Hail Satan. All right. Next.
Next up, Fallout 76.
Yes.
In West Virginia.
Almost heaven.
Now, as excited as I am about it, I've got a lot of mixed emotions about it. Because I love the Fallout series. I've played all the games, all the console games. I know there's like ones for your phone where you like manage the vault and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's really fun.
I might play it. I don't know. I tried Pocket Mortys. That was fun.
Okay.
For a little while.
I think we have. We want to thank all of you who tuned into
But
this.
Vault 76, they're approaching a lot of things differently, and so it's going to be a mix of MMO / single player / linear story / open world / all kinds of new and interesting things, which
and we'll see you all at E3 June 10th.
make me want it, but terrify me at the same time because I'm hoping it's great, but I'm hoping it doesn't ruin what they've had.
It's kind of like adding too many ingredients into the pot. Really, not so much as too many. It's just adding a lot of elements into it. As long as they all work well together, then it's great. But if something is off, then it won't work. So really, you're kind of hesitant to maybe just make sure all the ingredients going in are good.
Well, like with Fallout 4, they added the settlement and stuff like that, and that was a huge add-on to the game, but it seems like that became the main focus of the game instead of the story, because like...
Check out my crib!
Yeah, like half, which is awesome. I spent, I don't know how many hours building a fake house. When I could have probably
You could have built a real house, yeah.
But, like, half of the add-ons were just like, customize this, build this bigger, customize this. I would have been like, give me more bosses, give me more armor, give me more this. And they always give you tons and tons of stuff, especially on PCs where you got all the mods and stuff like that. But, I don't know, I'm excited for it. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into, it's gonna offend a lot of people. It started, in my opinion, it started out good and this kind of got very repetitive. Wow. Warcraft. It started out awesome and then it was
just really great.
Now you're on level 50, you go to this and give me 10 of those things. now you're level 60, you go to this and give me 9 of those things.
I think
can
of
see
Destiny
that.
more as like.
Now I know with World of Warcraft, like the whole team aspect where not sieging, you go in.
Raiding.
Yeah, raiding.
That's
That's a huge thing. I'm wondering if that's going to be something that Fallout incorporates, maybe like get a team together, go fight this giant boss battle kind of thing.
I could see that being actually pretty cool.
So I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be great. I've loved everything they've done so far. I understand they're trying to stretch their wings and try something new. I'm hoping it's amazing.
I have faith in this. I don't think they'll do it like how Dark Souls was, where you're playing your game, you're connected online. Someone can just join your game in Dark Souls and just come up
Just
kill
wreck you.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you lose because it's Dark Souls. You lose your souls. You have to restart like super far back from the last bonfire and then go collect them. I don't think Fallout 76 will have that curse.
They like their players.
Yeah, I
They
don't
want their
think-
customers and players to have a good time. They don't want you to bash your face against the wall because you can't get past the third boss in the game that you've had for 6 months.
And because someone keeps joining your game and killing. I don't think that's gonna have that nightmare.
I don't think so either, honestly. It seems to be in pretty good hands, honestly.
Exactly.
I'm excited about it, especially with like the support that Microsoft gave them. Like they've always been very cordial towards one another company wise, but especially with this new this new branch that they're trying to extend. It's exciting. Like it's definitely seeing a company that I've loved for years try something completely new, and I'm hoping it works out. And I have faith in Bethesda that they'll knock it out of the park. I hope they do at least. So.
Fingers crossed.
There's also an announcement for Starfield, which is, I believe, not mistaken, like Skyrim, but in space.
Dude.
And they also announced, there's not much information about that announcement, nor Elder Scrolls 6. There's not much about that one yet, but
yeah, it's just kind of a little teaser and then have fun figuring anything else out.
Well, it's again going back to the Alexa. It's finally something besides Skyrim done 17 different ways to where it becomes a joke that is a real thing. That is real.
It was still crazy, that announcement.
I know. Seriously?
It was during the interview that it was confirmed as a real thing.
Instead of just a joke. Just a throwaway.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, think of just super open world.
I'm excited.
I mean, that's not like trademarked or anything.
I'm a big RPG nerd, but I've always been more like the fantasy side of things, like Elder Scrolls, of course, Skyrim, and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just never got into the Mass Effect games. I don't know why, because I love sci-fi, but I don't know, I just couldn't get into Mass Effect for some reason.
In the Fallout.
Anyway, I mean, like different flavors for different folks.
But I don't know, like my favorite like sci-fi RPGs, I guess, would be like Knights of the Old Republic, and those were the few turn-based that I didn't.
See, Star Wars is pretty much always awesome.
I've only played a few of them. The Unleashed ones are really fun. So maybe
those were really fun. Can we get a third? That'd be nice. But anyway.
maybe that's what they're going with the Starfield.
Maybe.
Like Starfield with a new twist on the adventuring, Gears Pop is a new twist on Gears, combining Pop with Gears of War.
I just thought that was just like a commercial for Pop figures. Like, here, buy us and stuff. But no, like, it's a game.
It's a standalone mobile game. I don't know what the gameplay is going to be like whatsoever.
I don't care. It's adorable. I want it.
It's not Lego. I'm excited. It's not
I know. Everything is Lego.
Lego does so much. Gears of War might be a little edgy. Just a little bit.
I mean, maybe a little. I mean,
just a little.
I mean, I love Lego games, but when I saw the COG, I was at E3 and I saw it announced live. When I saw the COG there, I'm like, oh, they're announcing Gears 5 already. Nope. Gears Pop. It was cool. Seeing destruction, the noob tube across it.
It's taking giant space monsters and grizzled hardasses and making them adorable.
They are, I know.
There needs to be a makeover show where they take like real people and turn them into pops.
I'm just excited.
I can see it now.
People of Walmart pops.
People to pops.
Gosh.
This is gonna work. Okay, get rich.
Gears
We
is gonna
can't share that
start.
with you
Alright,
guys, though.
don't, yeah, no,
Keep it
you
between
can't
us.
steal it, that's us. No.
Like Gears is gonna
But
start
it-
the whole pop revolution though with pop gaming. Like
Oh, I
Lego.
know, can you imagine? I mean, don't get me wrong, again, I love the Lego games. They're super fun, honestly, they're pretty funny too.
Yeah, even the ones without voice acting, like way back in the day when
Way
there was no
back.
voices.
And it's all just like pantomiming and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Lego games. It'd be kind of nice to see something kind of similar, like maybe pop figure games. Like that'd
Well-
be super cool.
I think this is a way for them to approach older audiences, because as fun as the Lego games are, they're still like
They're kinda
the
kiddish.
as far as like age goes, like Lego Harry Potter maybe is like the only one that's kind of dark at all. Besides maybe
probably.
the Lego where they've got all the different universes, Infinite or not Infinity, that's Disney.
Worlds?
Galaxies or portals.
Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, that
Yes,
one.
that one.
Thing where you build the portal
Yeah,
and
they
there's
go through all
Gandalf
the
and
different worlds.
Batman and
That-
all the people.
That's got all different worlds and stuff, but again, it's still that bracket for kids.
Right.
So maybe with Gears Pop, it might be their way. It's still cute and adorable, but they can still make
They
it a
can
little
still
darker and
little-
grittier and still market to that older audience, but still also get their audience that have been around forever involved in something new.
Right, 'cause
Right.
they're keeping the core of Gears. They're keeping Gears, but also adding a new twist to it, which is awesome. Combining
It's fresh. I like
right,
it.
exactly. Gears, which is awesome, and then combining pop, which hasn't been done before in a game. So it's going. I'm excited for it. I don't
looks
care how
really
much
good.
it costs. It's going on my phone.
Well,
My tablet.
they've got a lot going on.
All
Like
the things.
they're coming out with
No
Gears
transactions.
5. They're doing Gears Pop, and it just seems like overall they're kind of evolving. They're becoming I don't want to say the next Halo, because they're definitely different from Halo. They're definitely their own thing. But Halo has become this giant franchise that is literally, you just say Halo and you don't have to say the 50 different games or versions that go with
Yeah.
it.
List.
And that's kind of how
Guardians,
Gears is working
Guardians,
into it.
all the
They've got the
things.
5 standalone games now with the announcement of 5 coming out. They've got the Pop game coming out. I believe they've got something else coming out. don't
The
they?
tactics?
Tactics, yes.
Right.
And that is just like, what was it, XCOM?
Exactly. It's like XCOM.
And,
Tactical XCOM, just kind of classic strategy, like a real-time strategy kind of game.
but it looked from, I only saw a little bit of the tactics, but it looks like, it reminds me of old school, original Warcraft, but just awesome graphics. So,
It looks really good.
no, I think, again, strategy games, something I've never been, had the attention span for, but there's so much going on, there's so much, everything, the explosions are crazy, the destruction's crazy, because, again, the characters, or no, sorry, getting Pop caught in there. But no,
So you want like Michael Bay, the strategy tactical game.
yeah, like it's the graphics, because that's the thing, you have this huge aerial view most of the time, so you have very little detail and very little like sense of what's going on besides, alright, I've got a massive guys here and a massive guys here, let's make them butt heads until half of them are dead.
Okay.
This
yeah.
new one, like
Got
literally,
it.
you can see all the details, even though it's slightly simplified because you're trying to fit so much information on your screen.
Right.
But it's still crisp, it's still clear, it looks really nice, it's, you see different weapons, different guns, different armor, it's not just 500 of the same guy,
Right.
10,
Right.
you know. So, I
All in
think,
all, a lot of attention to detail looks like it's gone into this. So really it'll just kind of boil down to actually playing it and just seeing how it plays.
Mhm. And again, it's a franchise kind of like Bethesda trying something new, but along with trying something new with their pops and with tactics, they're also, from what it looks like, is they're really changing up their gameplay with Gears 5. It seems like they're focusing less on the, I guess the massive world of the interspecies warfare and stuff like that, and kind of focusing on the inner struggles of the character Kate and the people that surround her. And that seems like, again, before they're focusing on this massive war between these different species and the planets and this, that, and the other. And now it's mainly about this one person and trying to find out why she's going through whatever turmoil is set up. And again, I've played some of the Gears of War games. I haven't played all of them. But they've always been really fun games, and they've always been action-packed and stuff like that.
Your grandmother's.
And this seems like, from what I've seen, it seems like they're taking all the good things of it and then adding some of the heart from games like God of War or The Last of Us.
Right.
They're making
Just
it
that
more
kinda two-man
personable.
team
You
sort of.
connect to it more. You know, instead of just trying to get that, kill all the
Kill all
things.
the guys, yeah.
There's a little emotional connection there.
They're
Yeah.
focusing down the story. Like I played Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, about half of 4, and I really like where they're going with 5 because it's like again the woman lead of Kate. Yay! A new lead for the game. But yeah, narrowing down on her because when the trailer starts out, you see her with Oscar, and he is he's the last of her family. So now she's crushed. Like it's the emotional story with her. So I'm excited to see this whole new twist on the story, like this new focus. I mean, Gears Pop, Gears Tactics, Gears 5 with what they're doing, like everything new for Gears of War.
And if you notice, it's not Gears of War. It's still obviously still in the same franchise and everything.
Exactly.
But it's Gears 5. It's kind of less focused on the actual war and more on the people, as you were saying. And Gears Tactics, Gears Pops. It's the of War, which just kind of dropped from that. It's still part of it. It's just
They're evolving.
focused.
They're realized they've got enough of a fan base. When you say Gears, you know what they're talking about from the get-go. But also, it's just with everything they're doing, instead of Gears of War Tactics, Gears of War this, it's just
it does
it's crisp, it's
nice.
cleaner. It just they know what they want. It works.
And like you said, everyone knows. If you say Gears in the terms of video games, everyone knows what it is.
Exactly.
You don't have to
There's
say the rest.
nothing else.
And it also keeps the series alive too. Like there's some games and even some movies too. Like go on like with a million sequels. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like this is adding a fresh take on it, so people aren't gonna be another Gears of War. No, this isn't just another Gears of War. This is a whole new take on it. It's the characters are back, but it's
done differently.
Exactly.
It's a different side of the coin this time, it seems. Like,
Yeah.
there's still going to be the monsters and the creatures that you've seen before, but from what I've seen, it looks like there's going to be a ton of new ones. But then again, it's this one, I don't know if it's for the entire game, but it seems like you have a second character with you throughout the game.
Del Walker.
Yeah, so you see a lot, I think you're going to see a lot of, for one, their inner workings, and possibly why they are chosen to be the ones that go out together. And so I'm excited to see that friendship bond, because I know she's in a relationship with Phoenix's son.
Or at least was. I don't know. That looked kind of rocky.
Yeah, I mean, things can happen on a skiff. You never know. Which the skiff is like a mix between
It was like a sled and a wind.
a sled, a toboggan,
Windsurfing.
Windsurfing. That's what I was
Yeah,
looking
snow
for.
surfing,
But on
yeah.
ice,
Yeah.
and it's playable and drivable. So that's going to be cool because they've always had really cool, interesting vehicles to drive. Just like Halo, you've got the Banshees and the Warthogs, but that I've got to say is like the most unique vehicle that I can think of. At least it reminds me of like Waterworld. I don't know if you guys have seen it with Kevin Costner from the mid-90s, but it's like Waterworld if there was an ice age involved. That's that vehicle reminded me of.
It looks so cool. Like I want to just pilot it around and just explore everywhere.
Like it looks badass but fun at the same time.
Exactly.
I'm excited about it. I'm definitely excited about it.
And our last topic for awesome and fun and a new announcement after forever, what seems like forever of waiting.
Good 5 to 6 to more years.
However
maybe?
long.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes. I just gotta say, I love how it broke into that at E3. At least during.
It is.
Which I'm sure from you, it's like from home. That was done really, really. It was just cool.
Yeah.
But to be there.
Phil Spencer was doing his outro, and then suddenly, the stage turns red. The Xbox logo on the stage starts spazzing out. All the computers on the stage start spazzing out. The lights are going crazy, and then it goes dark, and then red comes on, and then E3 is getting hacked. Microsoft Stage is getting hacked, and then you see the code coming up. CD Projekt Red.
From there, you kind of that's the big old hint right there.
That was besides Forza Horizon 4, of course, my heart. That was one of my favorite announcements at E3. Not only the game being announced, but how they did it too. Like that was awesome. At first I thought
And plus some presentation there.
I thought it was Watch Dogs 3 for a second, but then I saw CD. I'm like, CD Projekt Red. That was awesome.
And I gotta say, the actual footage looks amazing.
Yes.
Never mind the presentation.
So pretty.
Yeah. To me, like, I'm a like I said earlier, I'm a big sci-fi fan. I'm a big fan of Philip K. Dick. He's one of my favorite authors. He is the guy who wrote the inspiration for the movies Blade Runner, which his original book was Do Androids Dream of Robot Sheep? And he has this weird, futuristic, dystopian world, and this just seems like a darker, grittier underbelly to his world. And I think that's awesome. Like, again, the graphics, phenomenal. The futuristic dystopia is something I've always loved because I think that's where we're headed one way or another, so might as well enjoy it while we can because we're not going to when it's here. But the amount of customization in the game, it looks ridiculous. I don't know, there's nothing bad about that game that I can see. I mean, I could play it and be completely wrong one day, and I hope I'm not.
Yeah.
But from everything I've seen about it, from everything I've read about it, it looks amazing. It's originally based off of a tabletop game called Cyberpunk 2020 by, I believe his name was Mike Pondsmith, I believe. And they actually got him involved with the making of the video game because he's the guy that inspired the entire thing.
Nice.
So why would you not bring him if he's available?
Right.
That's
Get it from the source material here.
yeah, and he's working really hand in hand with basically every aspect of the game. So I'm excited to see how it transfers from the tabletop to this, but also I want to see his reaction. I want to see his enthusiasm behind something he's put so years and years and years into that other people believed in it enough to actually completely take it into a different format altogether. And now, instead of it being played on tabletops, it's going to be played by millions and millions of people, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be glorious.
I heard at E3, we didn't get to try it, but the demo for it at E3 was an hour, and they were only letting about 1 or 2 people in at a time, but it was depending on what kind of badge you had there was determined whether or not you could have access to it.
Okay.
But an hour demo, and it was just like, it was a tour that was included with it too. Like, I didn't get to see much of it, but there was a tour that was included with it.
Peek
Right.
over your little shoulders over there.
Exactly,
and,
yes. That's how that was done, but...
I'm trying to think of, from the trailers and, the footage I've seen, the most iconic parts, but I still keep going back to the original trailer that came out 5 or 6 years ago where you see this beautiful woman at first glance in this super slow motion scene. You're like, oh, she's in trouble, something's wrong. And then it pans out and you see she's got these giant blades coming out of her arm and she's probably going to cut your head off or something. So I'm excited to see how that's going to work into the game because originally that was the first trailer was a slow motion teaser linked into 2 minutes and change or something like that. So you're seeing a 3-second scene played out in super slow motion, but it's so epic.
You're just like, what is this? I want more of this. I gotta have this.
Exactly, and then, the new trailer, the intro from the character you play as, I believe his name's V, whether you're male or female, the character's name is V. You know, he talks about he lives in the worst place in the world and blah, blah, blah. But
he loves it anyway.
Yeah, you...
Home sweet home.
I don't know. It's making the best out of the worst, you know. But he enjoys it. So I think it's going to be one of those fun movies or games where you get into the feel of the underbelly and you actually like it. There hasn't been a good game or a good movie or anything that takes you into the underbelly of society and you actually like it. And this seems like you are.
Just kind of indulging that sort of gritty side.
In my head, because all the stuff there's robot parts and stuff. I imagine in my head there's going to be a mission involving organ trade or something like that. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Also, it looked like from what I could kind of glean from the trailer a little bit, it looked like people may have been getting hacked or something. If you think about all these cybernetic parts in you, that could be... It kind of reminds me of, Ghost in the Shell.
Well, the scene that pops out of my head when you said that is near the end of the trailer, there's a guy sitting on a train or something like that, and across from him, there's a guy's head plummeting out smoke out of the back of his head.
Sparks are flying everywhere.
The flight attendant or whatever is, dealing with the guy, and the other guy is just yeah, that happened, whatever.
Yeah.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues: sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else. Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion, but it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
And that was CD Projekt Red's newest announcement, Cyberpunk 2077. And it seems that while that was playing, my other two hosts left me. They got tired of talking about games and wanted to go play them. But I do thank you guys for watching, staying tuned, and hearing us all give our ideas and a review and opinions about the games coming out. But be sure to stay tuned because we will be having some surprises coming up soon. But as always, stay devious and thank you again for watching.